One of the things I did was I made a mistake of going on Amazon and buying these 2.5-inch push pins for the hood on Amazon for $40. Well, don't make that mistake because the first time James closed the hood, one side locked and seized up. The first time he tried the hood. So it took about what,
About 2 hours to get it.
2 hours. So 2 hours, guys. It cost me 2 hours for James to get this hood back up. So don't make that mistake. Do not buy that crap.
I got two turbos, yeah, they twins. Every time I'm on the track, it's a win. Know the deal when you hit the engine. Yeah, we steady popping like it's John Wick. Third degree, yeah, we lit. First place where we sit. I've been down, but I ain't never quit. Resurrected, now I feel like John Wick.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and hit the like button for me, please. We're here, guys. It's James B. As I always talk about James, he's the guy who always does all my custom work on Third Degree, which I had the 08 GT500. Now, behind me is John Wick. This is the video I promised I would make. So I drove up to Sanger, Texas to come see John Wick. So what I want to do is show you a couple of things on the car that we did. And I say we, but James. One of the things I want to show you is on the front of the car, I had James to block off the grill. Why did I do that? When you're going on the track, air gets through the front grill, starts to lift on the car. So that's aerodynamics. That was one of the many things we did. And let me show you what we just got. Thank you, Mike from Paramount Speed, for taking care of me again on parts for my car. All right, so I had a triple pump system on the car, which I really don't care for a triple pump because if one pump goes bad, it's too late when you find out and the car leans out and there goes another motor. So what I got from Paramount Speed is a new Aeromotive 10.0. I went ahead and got the big one. This will support, I think it was 3,400 horsepower to the crank on E85. So obviously I'm not running that much horsepower, but we're hoping to push a little over 2,000. This pump is heavy, and I heard from my man, Ryan Aycock, that it's very loud, but it works. So you've got the filter that comes out of the tank, of course the pump, and the filter after the pump, and all this is required with this system. And I had to get a new regulator as well. This system requires a -12, a return and feed line, or both -12. So this is the line that came off the car. So this is the 10, and the return was an 8 on the 4 system. So obviously this stuff will be for sale, so anyone needs a complete 4 system, everything except for the fuel rails, it will be for sale. I'm excited to show you what James has done on the car. Let me start at the back first. If you're looking at these jacking rails, guys, these are not something you can buy from LMR or anywhere out of a catalog. James designed these jacking rails. Ties in the rear cradle to the frame of the car, and obviously you can use it for jacking. So it ties the car in all the way up to the front. And if you can see that, he had them powder coated. Man, these things look awesome. They look factory. Transmission cooler is mounted in the back, nowhere else to put it. I actually bought the largest one that you can actually put back here. And of course you can't really see the shocks. I did have Viking on the car when I first got it, but I've got Sandhuff shocks. If you can see those red shocks, hopefully not have any traction issues. So we're gonna be running Sandhuff on the rear and Sandhuff on the front. Carbon fiber drive shaft. One of the other upgrades, this is a Helion Street Sleeper race kit. So I want to thank Jeff and John over at Helion Turbos for taking care of me on the parts. And they just sent me this new upgraded scavenger. It eliminates the scavenger tank. That tank used to hang down real low, and let me tell you, it was a pain. I scrape it on the roads. Yes, I do drive this on the street. It comes with little small reservoirs right here that bolts on each turbo. And I think this is an upgrade that they now put in the kits. But I talked with Jeff. Jeff sent me the kit. I appreciate you, Jeff, for hooking me up on that. One of the things we also did, Steve came over to the house during the winter, when we had a little winter storm, noticed that my AR housings were too small. So upgraded those to the 1.30s. I did have 0.81s. They were gonna be too small, and we will be dealing with a lot of back pressure. Also, as you can tell, I've got the Mark Mickey lockup converter with the Rosser Turbo 400. So a few things we've got on the car. And this is what I'm excited to show you too. The turbo kit actually doesn't come like this. This is something that James came up with. All right, this is what come on the kit with the silicone hose, and they come with the little blow-off valve here. Not sure how much boost that these silicone elbows hold, but I don't want to be the guy at the track that loses the race because I blew a boot off or a clamp. So what James did was took this and made it better. So here's what he did. We got the vibrant clamps, which I love these, made out of all aluminum. James is an excellent TIG welder, made all these bends all the way back to the turbo. So I don't have to worry about blowing off any silicone hoses during the race. And he also put a strap here to keep it from moving around. This is the air-to-air 2,000 horsepower intercooler that came with the kit that John and Jeff sent me. On this kit we upgraded. It was 3-inch. James took this and made it great. I don't say just better, but he made it great. So we took and put a 64 millimeter blow-off valve. Got this from Motion Raceworks. It bolts right on the front of the throttle body, which is cool. This is now from 3 to 3.5. The blow-off valve goes down. And James had to literally cut off this and add on a 3.5. James had to cut this off on each side and put those clamps on as well. So it's got the Wigan style clamp from Vibrant. And of course, as you can see, this goes back to the other turbo. And the turbos are 6870 Gen 2s. So supposedly they're good for 2,200 horsepower. It all depends on the motor combination. Got the Plasma Man intake, full built motor. They got a Winsbird billet crank, GT350 heads, custom cams from Modular Head Shop, GT500 valve covers. And also what I did was I actually put the 2020 GT500 coil packs in the car. So what I had to do was buy a whole wiring harness from a GT500, cut it, and make it where it fit on my car. So got the GT500 coil packs because they're hotter coils. Got rid of the little motorcycle battery, and now I've got a lithium 1600 cranking amp battery, so that thing's super nice. Under here is the solid state relay for the remote switches for the cutoff. So again, according to NHRA rules, as long as the battery's in the factory location, you do not need a battery cutoff switch. But I wanted to be kind of ahead of the game, just in case something happens, I want to be able to turn the car off. So I do not have a fire suppression system in the car, but I do have an onboard quick release fire extinguisher, which I have one on my golf cart, have one in my trailer, one in my truck. So, hey, I just don't want to be that guy without a fire extinguisher to save the car. So, and James is going to fix all this whole mess over here. That's why the car is here. I really don't have to have this according to the rules, but you know, I've caught on fire before, and I just think safety first. So this is an electronic switch. So if something happens, car catches on fire, just push it, kills the car. So we got one mounted here, and I have one mounted by my knee, which is really just to the right bottom of the steering wheel. So something happens, I can actually shut it off from here by hitting that switch. So again, safety first. Inside of the car, I know you don't see any seats in here, but the car does come with 2 seats. So I do have a rear seat delete. Got the AMS 2000. I've got my bump box and all my little parachute lever. It's pretty much a street car, guys. Still has the AC unit and everything behind the dash. And one of the things that we're going to try to get to, instead of doing just a regular parachute pull, James is going to build me a custom parachute, the CO2 launcher. And the reason is because it is hard to push that spring together and clamp this thing down. So packing a chute by yourself, that's something I don't want to have to deal with. We're going to hook that up. I'm not sure if I'll have that before the car's done, because I've got to get this car back and get it to the shop. Back here in the back, this is the fuel tank that I got from my main man, David Van Boers, because he didn't need the water section anymore, so he's just got a fuel tank. James had to, of course, split this, rotate each tank. We got the Craig Davis pump over here, of course, capped off the fuel cap that which you can actually run the stock style fuel system with. And of course, you see my name on there, John Wick. Love it, love it. Of course, I got these rims on the car right now because I thought we were going to be putting it on the dynos. Steve Ellis said we're going to be using a hub dyno, so I may put the drag radials back on it because it looks a lot better. One of the things we're going to do as well is we're going to put a full exhaust out the back. So James is going to take it right from the turbo 3-inch. We're going to do all aluminum 3.5 out the back. So I just don't want it dumped under the car. I don't know. It's loud when you drive it, and I am going to drive the car on the street. I just think it's cool to make a lot of horsepower and run fast out of the tailpipes. It won't be any of those dumps underneath the car, but it will be a true tailpipe car. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Anyways, if you have any more questions about John Wick, please comment, hit me up. I will gladly answer any questions. Like I say, there's really no secrets on the car until we get on the track. So when we get on the track, then all bets are off. So anyways, hey, I got an 1.5-hour drive back home. Peace out.
Burn out, burn out. You already know how this can turn out. 3rd degree.